Okay, so part number 1, marinating on Yom Tov. It is forbidden to marinate food on Yom Tov, even if one plans to eat it on that day. All the food preparation is normally permitted on Yom Tov. Any preparation that could be done prior to Yom Tov with the same or better result may not be done on Yom Tov. Marinating is included in this category, since the food that was marinated the day before is even tastier, and that which is marinated that day will be eaten. Oh, I'm sorry. And that which is marinated the day it will be eaten. Okay. So let's do it one more time. We're going to explain. So marinated on Yom Tov. It is forbidden to marinate food on Yom Tov, even if one plans to eat it this day. So it's possible at night, if you marinate something, right? So next day it's going to be ready, right? Technically. But they say no. Why? All the food preparations normally permitted on Yom Tov. Any preparation that could be done prior to Yom Tov with the same or better result may not be done on Yom Tov. And in the very beginning of this book, we said there are two opinions. So one opinion was that if you could you could have done this thing before the Yom Tov, right? So you're not permitted to do it on Yom Tov. Of course, we said our sages. Statement. So they said in case of the need and this and that. So like even if he did it intentionally, so we would allow the person to do it with a shinui, right, with deviation, right? Why? Because for sure, if you marinate food before Yom Tov, maybe 2 or 3 days before, it would be much tastier than you do it like on the day of. Okay. So that's and plus. I'm not sure they did not say it, but the second restriction was actually that you were not allowed to do something on some halachos that usually done on a large scale. Large scales. So large scales meaning I don't think anybody marinates only one pickle or something, right? People usually marinate a lot. Okay. Vegetables. Okay. So, but anyway, it is forbidden. Part number 2, salting vegetables on Yom Tov. Salting is unlike marination, is that food generally cannot be salted a day before it is eaten. So that's the difference of salting. Okay. Many authorities therefore state that the prohibition against salting does not apply to Yom Tov. Okay. Meaning, okay, let's read, then we're going to return. There is an opinion that the prohibition against salting nevertheless applies. The poskim write that since one can avoid the prohibition by salting in the manner it is permitted on Shabbos, one should preferably abide by the stringent opinion. Okay, so let's do this one more time. We're going to explain. Salting is unlike marination in that the food generally cannot be salted a day before it is eaten, right? As we said, marination you did it 3 days before, 5 days before, it's perfect, right? Salting, it's not going to work very well for us, right? So you need like salad, right? You need to salt now. Many authorities therefore state that the prohibition against salting does not apply on Yom Tov, since basically based on the reason that would prohibit marinating, right? Because you could have done it even with better result before. Okay, so but salting is not, so you cannot salt in advance. Okay. However, there is an opinion that the prohibition against salting nevertheless applies. Okay. So meaning do it strict on Shabbos, like one piece at a time. The poskim, so meaning for immediate use. The poskim write that since one can avoid the prohibition by salting in the manner that is permitted on Shabbos, one should preferably abide by stringent opinion. So poskim said, since we just gave you two options how to salt on Shabbos, right? One option is to salt one piece at a time, and another option we said to apply some kind of liquid, that like olive oil or something else, right? That salt is not going to be as strong. Okay. Continue. However, some authorities rule that even on Shabbos, its prohibition applies only to salting vegetables heavily, to the degree that it's comparable to marination or the tanning of hides. Merely salting food lightly at meal for a flavor is not included in prohibition of salting. Although one should not rely on this opinion on Shabbos, one may rely on this on Yom Tov, since, as stated above, many authorities permit salting outright on Yom Tov. Okay, so let's do this piece one more time. We're going to explain. However, some authorities rule that even on Shabbos, the prohibition applies only to the salt and vegetable heavily. So heavily means comparing to hides. To hides that they would put some this chemical that would cover completely the hides. So maybe that's what they mean heavily. Okay, to a degree that it's comparable to marination of the tanning of hides, meaning right. Marination or tanning of hides. Okay, so meaning it's a lot. I'm not sure how much salt they add, but I think they add a lot of salt. Okay, for marination. Merely salting food lightly at the meal for a flavor is not considered a prohibition of the salting. Okay, so meaning that if lightly for a salad or something, so according to this opinion, again, we try not to rely on this on Shabbos, but on Yom Tov we can. Although one should not rely on this opinion on Shabbos, one may rely on Yom Tov, since, as stated above, many authorities permit salting outright on Yom Tov. Okay, no problem. Continue. Practically speaking, then one may salt vegetables slightly for the flavor on Yom Tov. Okay. However, if one needs to salt the vegetables heavily, one should preferably. I'm not sure why would somebody eat so much salt, but heavily. So lightly, okay, we got it. Right, heavily. Salt each piece separately. Okay, so that's same on Shabbos. So meaning what? It's for sure. I'm not trying to preserve for the next day. It's for now. Okay, one piece separately, each piece separately. B, pour oil or similar liquid on food, preferably before the salting, right? So that the potency of the salt is diminished. So that's a perfect second solution.